Alrighty. The long-awaited Mythic boss guide, kind of tips and tricks kind of thing. We're going to be taking it boss by boss. Honestly, I'm skipping Champion of the Light because it's kind of a meme boss. So I'm going to be starting off with Mythic Grong, the Jungle Lord, and let's just jump into it. Alrighty, we got some pre-pull stuff going on, making sure that I get my food buff, making sure I got my flask, got everything. I'm going to hit the Azerite and the talents in just a second, but something to do note is whenever you're pre-casting on this fight, you're going to want to delay your incarn just a little bit longer than normal because you're going to be able to get the 8 Tagonizer robots inside your incarn window, so making sure that you kind of delay it a little bit is kind of important. So first thing, what Azerite traits am I using? I'm using 1 Arcanic Pulsar, triple Streaking Stars, and then kind of whatever else I have. Second Arcanic Pulsar is like fine. Another Power of the Moon is fine. Treacherous Covenant's also really good. Kind of just what you have, but you really do want to make sure that you have multiple Streaking Stars and 1 Arcanic Pulsar. Those are pretty much the default for this instance as a whole. So making sure that you're also proccing your Streaking Stars appropriately is very important as well. Okay, talents. We got Nature's Balance, Wild Charge, Restoration Affinity, Typhoon, Incarn, Twin Moons, and Shooting Stars. Let me kind of run it down. So Nature's Balance, I think Nature's Balance is the best on this fight due to the astral power generation that you're able to get and the ability that you have to kind of stay stationary for large majority portions of the fight. And then obviously Wild Charge in this instance is really strong. You're able to, on this fight, you only have to move really for the fire. So making sure that you're able to just kind of sit there, stay planted, only move Wild Charge whenever the fire comes out. Making sure you're not standing it for too terribly long, obviously very important. We have Restoration Affinity. So on a fight like Grong the Jungle Lord, there's a large amount of damage taken in a kind of short window. So Swiftmend is super important. Additionally, the passive healing from Ysera's Gift is also very good. Make sure that you actually use Bark Skin on the tantrums as frequently as you can. That will reduce your damage taken and increase your chance of survivability. Typhoon, this row, kind of whatever. Honestly, not that big of a deal. Incarnation, I think Incarnation is by far the best on this fight. You can elect to use Star-Lord, and it does have merit here, but I do think Incarnation is a little bit better as you're able to get a really good Incarn value at the very beginning of the fight, hitting the double robots. All right, let's talk about Twin Moon. So while Stellar Flare might be a little bit more boss damage overall, I actually think that Twin Moon is the best choice here. I think Twin Moon will give you more 8 Tagonizer robot damage, especially if the 8 Tagonizer robots land next to one another. And actually, I think it might be deceitful because I don't think you should actually be Stellar Flaring the 8 Tagonizer robots a lot of the time because you're supposed to be letting Stellar Flare tick for at least like 8 to 10 seconds to where you actually really do want to Stellar Flare the ads, and it does cost a lot of globals. So I'm pretty sure that Twin Moon is actually just all around the best for this fight. You obviously see me getting really good Twin Moon value right here. So obviously I did do a ton of damage on this fight. I think I got like rank 10 boss damage. I think it was like rank 30 overall. We private log, so it's really not that big of a deal, but I did do a lot of damage on this fight. And then we got Shooting Stars. Shooting Stars over Fury of Elune, basically, because, well, while the ads are spread right here, like you see, Shooting Stars definitely does a lot more damage whenever the ads are spread. So you do see me moving out of the fire. I didn't use Wild Charge there, but I am going to elect to pop Bark Skin. I actually use my Engineering Belt and Swiftmend myself, so I'm making sure that I'm able to stay top for this fight. That's super important for this fight overall. If you don't have Engineering, I would recommend that you get it for progression rating, especially if you're rating at a Mythic progression level. Making sure that you're able to do a lot of damage and making sure that you're able to survive through the Engineering Belt. The Tinker for the shield, the Prismatic Shield, is very important. You obviously see me getting my second Incarn here as we pop Bloodlust, so I do actually get a pretty big, I get a pretty hefty amount of burst just by our Bloodlust timing. We're Bloodlusting on second 3-minute cooldowns. The reason for that being is because we want to burn the boss because he does gain a large amount of energy the lower health he is, so making sure that we pop Bloodlust later on in the fight's really good. We chose to line it up with 3-minute cooldowns. So that's one of the major reasons why I'm going to be doing a ton of damage. You see the Bestial Throw on me, I Wild Charge out, I'm going to sit here for a second, then I'm going to walk back in so I don't get feared and then get launched out into the middle of nowhere. I do proc my Arcanic Pulsar. Very important here. Arcanic Pulsar is one of the best traits by far. one of the strongest one-off traits in the game. You do see that spark coming out. I actually preemptively move it because I do see it flying out in the air. You see the last tantrum of the fight coming out. I bark skin it, and now we're just sitting here chilling. And that is actually Grong the Jungle Lord. It's mostly making sure that you're able to interrupt quickly on the ad, making sure that the ad gets consistent interrupts by melee or range DPS, and then making sure that you have the correct talents selected, making sure you're using bark skin at the correct time. Don't be afraid to heal using Restoration Affinity or anything else, and you'll be good to go. You do see me dipping very low there, but the fight's pretty much over and we are good to go. And that is Grong the Jungle Lord. As soon as I get around to getting Jadefire Masters uploaded, that'll be soonish, so make sure to stay tuned for that kind of thing. And I hope you guys have a great rest of your day. Make sure you subscribe, like the video, all that shenanigans. Later, everybody. Peace. Hello, cat.